it's more vital than ever that we keep in touch. So at Labara, we're offering a great value SIM-only deal. 1,000 texts and 1,000 minutes to the UK. 100 extra minutes to 40 other countries, plus 2 gigs of data. All for just £5. No contract. You can change at any time. Not that you'd want to. Labara. Stay connected.
Attention please. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Not all supplements are created equal. At HealthSpan, our omega-3 oil is sustainably sourced from the South Pacific Ocean. We find our turmeric in the southern slopes of India. And our cod liver oil comes from the cold, crisp seas off Greenland. We work hard to seek out the best ingredients for our supplements, because that's the HealthSpan way. We're healthspan.co.uk. Vitamins and supplements in-store or direct to your door.
A very good evening. Welcome to the Manchester Aquatic Centre. Welcome to the British Swimming Invitation Meet. We're here for the finals here in Manchester from the heats that were swam this morning. Some fantastic races on the way for you as British Swimming continues to make its slow progress towards something like a sporting normality following and indeed during the COVID-19 pandemic. If you're just joining us for the first time today, welcome along. If you're joining us for the second time today, welcome back. We've got plenty of races to come. And our referee is just about to be introduced out onto the pool side here. We've got plenty of races to come. Some of the world's best swimmers competing. For those uninitiated, we've got elite swimmers from both the Olympic and Paralympic programs here this weekend in Manchester. That's the criteria to be here. It's the same event in essence as the one that was swam 4 weeks ago, almost exactly really a mirror image. There has been more swimmers added, which is brilliant, about 30% more. So some of the elite swimmers from north of the border and from other clubs that didn't make the trip 4 weeks ago are with us, and the event is much better for it. So we've got plenty to come. So here's what's to come this evening then. We'll kick things off with a women's multi-class 400 metre freestyle. We've then got the women's 400 free, followed by the men's multi-class and the men's open 400 free. We'll then have the women's multi-class 50 metre backstroke, where Ellie Chalice will swim out on her own, trying to break her British record. Women's 50 back then follows. Kathleen Dawson was the quickest through this morning, well in front of Georgia Davies, and Kathleen looking terrific, I must say, this morning. One of my standout performers. We'll see how she can go this evening. Men's multi-class 200 back then follows, and then it's the men's 200 backstroke, which is something of a headline event this evening. Luke Greenbank, wow, what a swim this morning. Superb from Luke. 11 hundredths of a second off the world record held, the British record I should say, held by James Goddard, which has stood for nearly 11 years now. Phenomenal swim from Luke Greenbank, a new PB. What can he produce this evening? Following that, we've got the women's 200 fly, where Emily Large will go head-to-head with Laura Stevens, and Kiana McInnes and Kira Schlossen will hope to provide adequate opposition. Then we've got the men's 100 fly, starting off with the multi-class with Stephen Clegg, and then the open, where James Guy will headline that one. He's got Jacob Peters and Joe Litchfield for company, and the return to competition of Duncan Scott. Not his event, he's not expected to win it by any means, but just lovely to see the Flying Scotsman back. Then it's the women's 200 breaststroke. Molly Renshaw in lane 4 in that one. She'll have Jocelyn Uliette and Katie Matz alongside her. And Molly, who equalled the British record in this event 4 weeks ago, will be looking to go one better this time around. We'll close things out with the men's 100 metre breaststroke, keep an eye on Adam Peaty, as we always will do, and we end with the boys and the girls 50 metres freestyles. Kicking things off then, welcoming the athletes out to poolside. This is the women's 400 metre freestyle multi-class event. Ellie Simmons first out in lane 2. Just chatting actually off air with a couple of people around this event. It's remarkable to think Ellie Simmons is still only 26. Shot to prominence in 2008 at the Beijing Paralympics. Still just 26. Still got so much to give to this sport. In this one, she's got Katie Crowhurst and Zara Maluli alongside Tony Shaw and Maisie Summers-Newton. All teenagers. Grace Harvey a little bit older at 23. She's on the outside. Multi-class race, so all these swimmers have different sporting classifications. We've got 3 S6s in Grace Harvey, Maisie Summers-Newton and Ellie Simmons. And then Katie Crowhurst is an S13 swimmer. She has a visual impairment. Zara Maluli and Tony Shaw are S10 and S9 respectively. So they'll be all targeting their respective classes' world records. The closer they get, the more points they'll accrue, and the closer they'll get to winning the race. It's not necessarily the athlete who touches first that will win it. There's your quick refresher on multi-class racing. Expect Zara Maluli to be out quickest and home quickest as well. The S10 swimmer is very quick indeed. The issue that Zara Maluli will find in multi-class races, and it's not a new one, is that her world record is tremendously quick. It's held by Orly Riva of Canada. And it's quite phenomenal, 4:29.27. Not quite as phenomenal as the one that Tony Shaw has to chase, being an S9 swimmer. She's got to try and follow up the great Natalie Detroit of South Africa, who set 4:23 in 2008. And for those not too familiar with paraswimming, the world record stood for longer than a few years. It's pretty good. If it stood for 13, that is an eon of time. For the S6 swimmers, they're chasing Zhang Yuyan's time from the World Championships in London 2 years ago. That's 5:13.32. Anywhere near that will be a very good swim from Maisie Summers-Newton, Grace Harvey and Ellie Simmons. Maisie and Ellie were both in that final, I believe, with Zhang Yuyan, who had a breakout competition in London 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago more accurately. And for Katie Crowhurst, she's chasing the great Rebecca Myers, who set a time of 4:19 in Rio in 2016. So that's what they're all after. It gives you a little bit of an idea as to what sort of times are the elite for these respective classes and their athletes. But one thing to really watch is when athletes are of similar classes. So, for example, with the S6s, Ellie Simmons, Maisie Summers-Newton and Grace Harvey are all racing directly against one another. And right now, just looking at the pool, it's away to our left, just out of picture at the moment. Zara Maluli turning in first position, Tony Shaw then in second, and then come the others, Crowhurst in lane 3, and then come the S6 swimmers, pretty much in a line, as you can see. Ellie Simmons at the top, Maisie and Grace at the bottom. And he's just having a look as she goes there, Ellie Simmons. She's just got a little bit of work to do against Maisie Summers-Newton. Maisie, a tremendous S6 swimmer, had her maiden World Championships in 2019 herself, and looked absolutely brilliant at them. Very versatile swimmer, swims just about anything, and swims it very, very well as well. world champion over 200 in the individual medley. And a very good 400 freestyler as well. British record, by the way, still held by Ellie Simmons. She set that in Glasgow in 2016, not all that long ago. 5:18.69 has still never been bettered. Zara Maluli now is coming towards home. She too had her first taste of World Championships action in 2019. Youngster from Northampton. Real hub of para-swimming in this country. The likes of Zara and Maisie and Ellie Robinson all coming through in that swim club. But in comes Zara for the touch. Let's take a look at how many points she can accrue. 874 is pretty good. 441.56 is the time. 874, a pretty good multi-class points total. Katie Crowhurst won't challenge these multi-class points. You just have to keep an eye on the S6 swimmers here, because Ellie Simmons and Maisie Summers-Newton are involved in a right old ding-dong. Across the pool from each other, they're both looking at each other. Head down into the wall. Who's going to shade it? It's so close, isn't it? Wowee! Ellie Simmons gets the touch and takes that by one single point. Zara Maluli, though, with an excellent swim. She wins it on multi-class points. Ellie Simmons touches out Maisie Summers-Newton in the battle of the S6s. Great start to the night's racing. Confirm results for you there. Those are the times, and they are ranked in point order. So Zara Maluli wins it, Ellie Simmons second, and Maisie Summers-Newton in third place. Feels like an apt time to point out there's no medals at this event, no gold, silver, bronze, but I mean, we're from a swimming background, ladies and gents. We can't help but go through a top three. But there'll be no formal medals from this meet. Swimmers are swimming more for times. Think of it more as a time trial. Next up on deck is the women's 400 metre freestyle from the Olympic swimming programme. Holly Hibbert is our leading light in this one in lane 4. And it's an interesting parallel, actually, in this particular event, women's 400 freestyle, for the last 3 Olympics and Paralympics, because Great Britain has won a medal at every Paralympics and Olympics since 2008 in the women's 400 freestyle. Ellie Simmons has medalled at every one. Becky Adlington, Jo Jackson, Jazz Carlin. It's a real blue ribbon event for GB, this. And here we get to take a look at someone looking to follow in their footsteps. Holly Hibbert will certainly be hoping to do that. She was the quickest through this morning. Leah Crisp, her Bath teammate, having made the switch from the City of Leeds. Freya Colbert there in lane 7, the supremely talented youngster alongside Tamron Van Selm, both 17. Holly Hibbert, a European bronze medalist over this distance in 2018. That's a Commonwealth silver medal to her name from that same year. She ran well this morning, did Holly Hibbert. She'll be really gunning for 4:10. If she can get under that, she'll be absolutely ecstatic. Won it in 4:11.9. Four weeks ago in this very final. It's one of the quickest times swum in the world this year, really. And Holly will be hoping to continue that progression and that growth. She's still a young swimmer. She's entering those peak years now. Tokyo is the one she will have prioritised and built up to right from the moment really the Rio Olympics ended in 2016. Leah Crisp, a couple of years her junior in lane 5, followed a similar path really. Down to Bath University. She's a Commonwealth Youth Champion in 2017 in this event and the 800 as well. But if Holly can get back towards that PB, which still sits at a phenomenal 4:05, won't happen at this meet, or if it does, it'll be remarkable. But that's the sort of level she'll be trying to hit come the summer, where she'll have aspirations of having one of those Tokyo tickets. It's Holly who leads the way, then Leah Crisp in second place, tucked in behind her by quite a comfortable margin. You can see there, good 2 to 3 lengths in front of Leah Crisp. Going really well is Freya Colbert in lane 7. She's currently in 3rd place. Mentioned, just a phenomenally talented teenager. Really is scary how good she is so young, across a multitude of events. Definitely one to keep an eye on for the future, and indeed the present, as she sits 3rd in this current race. .300 mark then, and Holly Hibbert splits at 3:08.43. Slightly slower than where she was precisely at this moment 4 weeks ago, only by about 0.2. Ended up coming home in 4:11.97, as I say. Can Holly find that strength to take her on to a quicker time? Not too sure she'll be able to do that. It's still a very authoritative swim, isn't it, from Holly Hibbert. Leah Crisp just clinging on to 2nd place. Freya Colbert giving absolutely everything to hold on to 3rd. She's got Mia Slevin just inside her, who's hammering away. And Holly Hibbert's going to come in to take the touch here. It's going to be another excellent time for Holly Hibbert. Touches the wall in 4:12.26. Leah Crisp in 2nd place, and Freya Colbert does indeed just hold on to 3rd in front of Mia Slevin.
And there's your confirmation straight away. All official, Holly Hibbert, Bath University, a 4:12.26 from lane 4 winner in the women's 400-metre freestyle.
Those results are confirmed. They have them. Holly Hibbert, 4:12.26, wins the women's 400-metre freestyle. Leah Crisp in 2nd place, 4:16. quicker than her heat swim this morning. Freya Colbert 4:17.73 in third place, not too far off her personal best there.
And just a quick reminder for those that work.
Oh, here come the fellas for our next race. It's the men's multi-class 400 metre free final. Got 4 swimmers coming up in this one. Jonathan Booth, the S9 swimmer, goes in lane 3. Alongside him in lane 4, that is Dylan Broom from Torfan. Oliver Carter from the Uni of Stirling is in 5. S10 swimmer. And there's Mikey Jones. Swum here for a number of years now. Oh, just about ready to get underway then. True multi-class race, 4 different classes. And some really fast times to try and chase down. More on that in a moment. Well, Dylan Broom away well, as he should be, the S14 swimmer from Torfan. He's chasing the world record set by Liam Schluter of Australia in 2019, 4:06, which is a very quick one, it's worth pointing out. Elsewhere, Jonathan Booth, S9 swimmer. He's chasing one of 4:09. So in theory those two should be relatively close to each other. Oliver Carter meanwhile is the S10 swimmer. He's chasing Maxim Krypak's world record, which is very quick, 3:57. Maxim Krypak, one of the current best, terrifyingly quick swimmer. And Mikey Jones meanwhile, he is chasing Mark Mallier's world record that he set in London a couple of years ago, 4:33. Or probably going to be unattainable times for these fine gentlemen, but that's the standard with which they will be judged in this multi-class format. Stephen Clegg is the British record holder in the S12 classes. He is here this weekend, but he's not swimming in this event. He's obviously decided to save himself for the 100 fly that's coming up a little bit later on. He's swimming out on his own in that one. So Dylan Broom leads them out just in front of Jonathan Booth and Oliver Carter. Mikey Jones, as expected, a fair chunk back. Towards the 300 metre mark they go then. And it is still Broom who leads the way. He was one of the swimmers who was here last time around. Didn't swim in this event though. Mikey Jones did, he won it. Jonathan Booth, who's also in this one, ended up in third place in that race. It was Jacob Leach who finished in between them. Let's see what the boys can produce for us this evening as they hit the 350 metre mark. And in they come. It's Dylan Broom who touches in first, but it's Jonathan Booth who'll pick up the multi-class advantage in terms of the points. But there is Dylan Broom who won the time trial at least, the man from Torvine. 8:49 for Mikey Jones. 4:48.88. That'll be enough to win it for Mikey Jones. Good swim from him. As I mentioned, he's got a really tough world record to chase in Mark Malliers that was outstanding in London in 2019, 4:33, but 4:48 is enough for the multi-class points for Mikey Jones to win this one. An excellent start for the paraswimmers. Number of the girls looking excellent in the 400 free, and some strong swims there from the boys. Dylan Broom and Oliver Carter in particular, some of the younger swimmers who are trying to emerge onto the national and international stage. And that is a big beaming smile on the face of Charlie Hutchison. Tom Dean a touch more business-like behind him. Men's 400 free. Next up on the menu.
In 2, representing Bath University, Thomas Dean. In 3, representing Loughborough University, William Bird. In 4, Swansea University's Daniel Jarvis.
There's a big favourite, Daniel Jarvis of Swansea Uni. Welshman is a fantastic 400 metre swimmer.
In lane 7, Bath University's Kieran Bird. And in lane number 8, Bath University's William O'Reilly.
Not just a good 400 swimmer, but a good distance swimmer as well.
Freestyle finalist.
2 Commonwealth Games medals over 1500 metres. Picking them up for Wales in Glasgow and on the Gold Coast. Was 4th in this event though in Australia in 2018. Was out in Gwangju at the World Championships in 2019. Finishing in a performance of 17th in the end in the 400 and 13th in the 1500. That's got a personal best of 3:47. If he can get back to that sort of pace, he will be a serious contender. Away they go then. It's a good start made by Tom Dean over in lane number 2. Did this morning, he went out really quickly. Blasted away the first 200 metres and was in front by quite a way before eventually being caught. He is a really good sprinter, is Tom Dean. Went out to the World Championships in 2019. Part of the 4x2 freestyle relay team. Ended up in 5th place out in Korea. Leading the way is Daniel Jarvis. He's got a little bit of competition either side of him. Leads the way pretty comfortably though at the moment, you'd say. Luke Turley isn't too far back. He's on his left shoulder, soon to be on his right. But this could be the Daniel Jarvis show. He leads the way at 200, quite handily as well, you'd say. 1:53.71 at the halfway stage. Finished in 2nd place in this event 4 weeks ago, did Dan Jarvis. He was placed behind Felix Alberg of Austria. Based at Loughborough Uni is Felix. He was here representing his nation at that event. An international meet it was. And he swam superbly well as well. Swam a really quick time at world level, which sort of just brought that standard up a bit. Swam 3:48. Dan Jarvis there 4 weeks ago swam 3:50. He can dip under that. He'll be very pleased. 300 metre mark, 2:52.33. He's on track to do that. 0.8 of a second quicker than he was this time 4 weeks ago. Field has now become a little bit more stretched, and Luke Turley clinging on as best he can to Dan Jarvis, but almost on an island by himself there is Luke Turley. Tom Dean still holding on to 3rd. Just wonder if William Bell can make some kind of comeback in that sense, the young man from Loughborough Uni. Did say a little bit ago that it was in danger of turning into the Dan Jervis show, and so it has. An excellent swim from Dan. How quick is the time? 3:49.74. That's a top time. Below 3:50 for Dan Jervis. He'll be pleased with that. Reference, that's quicker than the time he swam in the World Championships in 2019. Getting back towards that sort of standard that he set in the year running up to that. Great swim from Dan Jervis. Luke Turley, 3:52, will be pleased with his efforts, as will Tom Dean. Don't think we'd call him a natural 400 swimmer, Tom Dean, but he can swim anything. Terrific freestyler. And he picks up a third with 3:54. Confirm results were there on your screen. We're going to move swiftly on. Next event is about to get going, and it will be the women's multi-class 50-metre backstroke. There will just be one swimmer in this, and it will be Ellie Chalice, the S3 swimmer from Clacton. The youngster made her debut on the international stage in 2019, and what a debut it was as well. Memories I'm sure she will cherish forever. But she burst back onto the scene 4 weeks ago at that Manchester International meet. Oh, swimming a British record in this event. She looked fantastic. Did that in the heats, couldn't quite replicate it in the evening. But let's see what Ellie's got in the tank this time around. 55.61 is the time she swam 4 weeks ago. And she's about to make her way out in a moment. 59.78 this morning. And here comes Ellie on that distinctive scooter. Swam superbly 4 weeks ago, Ali Chalice. She's been praised a lot behind the scenes by the paraswimming guys here at GB. I reckon she's really made a step up since relocating here to the National Centre, which is based in this arena incidentally. Her progress continues at a rate of knots. Let's see what she can produce 4 weeks removed from that British record swim. And away we go. Ellie, who we had a good laugh with at the last meet. She swam out with the Olympic programme swimmers in the heats and held them all up when a zip got stuck. Said she'd never felt more embarrassed, and then went out and swam a British record. Sometimes the best preparation is the worst preparation. Let's see what sort of time Ellie can swim here. Multi-class wise, she's looking to be around the 50-second mark. Really would be outstanding ultimately. The 48.49 is the world record held by Peng Ki-ping of China. Now, can Ellie go inside British record time? 56.66 is the time for Ellie Chalice. Just outside that British record standard that she set 4 weeks ago by pretty much a round second. But still a decent go from Ellie Chalice. That result is confirmed, 56.66 for this rising star of the British paraswimming team. Really excited for the backstroke events tonight. We'll have Rhys Davies doing the same thing in the men's multi-class. Before that, we've got the women's open 50 back. Kathleen Dawson looked superb this morning. She's in lane 4. Georgia Davies in lane 5. Georgia, the European record holder. Got decent competition outside as well. Katie Shanahan joins us from the city of Glasgow. One of the contingent from north of the border who've bumped the numbers up this time around. Maddie Harris is in lane 2. Cassie Wiles from Stirling is in 4. Her teammate Kathleen Dawson goes in 4. Georgia Davies, as I mentioned, European record holder at 27.21. Kathleen Dawson this morning, very, very close to swimming a personal best. That's 27.92. She's on 27.97 this morning. Looked great. What can she do in the evening? Can Georgia Davies bounce back? Reigning European champion. Away they go. Nothing to split Kathleen and Georgia so far. This is really close. Pretty much stroke for stroke. I think Kathleen just marginally in front. This will all be on the finish for Georgia Davies if she is to catch Kathleen Dawson. It's going to be a very quick time too. 27.63 for Kathleen Dawson. How about it? What a good swim. Brand new PB for Kathleen. Knocking the best part of 3/10 off, which for a 50 is phenomenal. Excellent swim from Kathleen Dawson on her return to competitive action. Gets the better of Georgia Davies, the European champion, who will have to settle for second place, 28.06. Georgia, of course, capable of a fair bit quicker than that. But Kathleen Dawson with a swim there, that is good enough to hang with any of them at any level. Cassie Wild in third place, 28.37, which is just a fraction off her personal best. Well, Rhys Davies here has got the same task in front of him as Ellie Chalice did a moment ago, as he has to swim out on his own, which in a 200 backstroke is never ever easy. Let's see what he can do. S14 swimmer from Swansea Uni. Thought for a second Reese was going to go capless there, which would have been a real statement of intent, but on goes the GBR hat. And away he goes. Oh, never an easy test to swim out on your own at the best of times. A 200 backstroke's about as brutal as it gets, really, for Rhys Davies. He's the British record holder in this event. He swam that at the Swim Wales summer meet in 2018, 2:13.8. If he can get anywhere around there, he would be a really, really happy man. 2:19 this morning. And Rhys also is the world record holder at this one. Interestingly, his British record is a slightly quicker time than his world record. That'll be due to ratification reasons, but his world record is 2:14. He can go even quicker than that, which is bonkers, really. But this is the world record holder. 2:14 was his world record. Swam that in Berlin at the Internationale Deutsche Meisterschaften. Very popular event on the Paris swimming circuit. It's a famous pool for quick swims. World records tumble aplenty at that meet every single year. And Rhys, another one who scratched his name up on that list in 2019, part of a huge British cohort who go over to that event every year. What sort of time can he produce this evening? He's a little bit outside world record pace, but it's still quick. Yeah, still quick. 2:16.31. Very nice from Rhys Davies. 950 multi-class points, which is to be expected when you yourself own the world record. I think he'll be fairly pleased with that, Rhys Davies. He should be. An excellent swim from the Welshman. He's still so young, still just 20. Feels like he's been around a while. Well, I mentioned Rhys's world and indeed British record, the British one ironically being quicker than the world record for peculiar reasons, but the British record is what this next race is all about for Luke Greenbank, who will be getting ready just down below us for the men's 200 metre backstroke final.
Please welcome to the poolside the men's 200 metre backstroke finalists.
Could be a big night for Luke, a PB this morning. If he can do it again, he will go very, very, very close to breaking a very long-held British record. More on that in a moment. Plenty of great swimmers around him.
Lane number 1 representing the University of Stirling, Craig McNally.
That's Craig McNally in blue shorts there. Next to him is Charlie Brown. Really good youth swimmer. 5th in this event at the 2019 World Juniors. There is Luke Greenbank. He's alongside Brodie Williams, who finished 2019 ranked 11th in the world in this event. That was how quick he was swimming. Jacob Greenow, James McFadden and William Riley making up the numbers on the outside. So Luke Greenbank swam a PB this morning. Swam it brilliantly, 1:55.69. Current world bronze medalist from Gwangju in 2019. The British record that he is gunning for tonight is held proudly by one Jimmy Goddard. As in the lane next to him, Brodie Williams gets a shocker of a start. And credit to him for ploughing on. That's a real shame for Brodie Williams. Greenbank to the wall in 27.43. I do have the splits of the original British records, which is useful to have. Swum by Jimmy in the Commonwealth Games in Delhi in 2010. It stood for a long time as this record, it really has. With good reason, it was top tier at the time. .56.33 at the 100. Luke Greenbank, one of the lucky 4. Does him a little bit of a disservice, very much deserved, but pardon the cliche. One of the lucky 4 selected for pre-qualification for Tokyo 2021 alongside Adam Peaty, Duncan Scott and James Wilby. Huge honour for Luke. He's wanting to repay that faith with some top performances. He's a very, very well liked and supported swimmer. And we've got plenty looking on and cheering him on in the arena here in Manchester this evening. How close can he go? Under the flags and into the wall. Luke Greenbank, 1:55.34. Wow! What a swim. What a swim. 1:55.34. Massive new PB. Massive new British record. What a swim, Luke Greenbank. Elsewhere, Elliot Clogg picking up second place, 2 minutes .64. And got to give a huge amount of credit to Brodie Williams there. He picked up 4th place despite being stuck on the blocks. Got a horrible start, did Brodie Williams, and a huge amount of credit has to go for finishing 4th there. But Luke Greenbank, I mentioned he's a popular fella. There's good reason for that. What a phenomenal swim. I know Jimmy was really, really proud of his 200 back British record as well. He should have been, and it stood for a very, very long time for very, very good reason. But Luke Greenbank with a phenomenal swim there. to take that crown from him. 1:55.34 is so good. Quickest time in the world this year. And Luke Greenbank is just getting better and better and better. Wow! Another British record falls in Manchester. Had a couple at the last meet. Luke Greenbank leads the way in this one. Brilliant stuff. Well, here come the girls. Women's 200 fly next up. You could see them enjoying themselves on the walkout as well. It's a proper good standard, this, let me tell you. This will be a great race, really looking forward to it. Sophie Freeman is the youngster on the outsides. Still just 17. Got a bronze in this event in the European Youth Olympic Festival in 2019. Maisie Elliott is in lane 2. Kiana McInnes is in lane number 3. Emily Large in 4. A lot of support for Emily down on the pool deck. Laura Stevens is in 5. Kira Schlossen in lane 6, and she's got Amy Wilmot for company on the outside. Isabel Goodwin making the field complete in lane 8. It's a great race. Amy Wilmot, great to see her back, making her competitive return. Phenomenal medley swimmer, but a superb fly swimmer as well. It's nowhere near her speciality, but it's great to see her swimming in general. She's got an outside lane. And some good focus here on the middle lanes, because Emily Large swam really, really well this morning. She was the 2017 World Junior Champion in this event. Going bronze, by the way, was Kiana McInnes, who was alongside it. But that superb swim from Emily Large in 2017 in Indianapolis really put her on the map. Won a British Swimming Award later on that year. Emerging Athlete of the Year, and she's continued to grow and get better and get quicker. I remember speaking to Emily in 2017 upon the recipient of that award. And I asked her, it's emerging athlete, it's about the future, what does the future hold? And she was very candid, very straight up, said, I want to go to Tokyo, that's the dream. It still might be a possibility. She's worked really hard in the following 3 to 4 years to get to this stage. She's right in the mix with a current world finalist in Laura Stevens. Laura in lane 5 and was a finalist in 2019 in Gwangju. Got a couple of years on Emily Large, but not much in terms of time, it must be said. Emily was quicker this morning, but Laura quicker historically, not by much. But it would be a big win for Emily if she can pull it off. Laura, though, will not want that to happen. It's a shark tank out there. Back they come towards home then. Laura Stevens looking strong. Large trying to pull it back. McInnes finishing strongly, but it will be Laura Stevens. Just has such gritty race quality about her, Laura Stevens, doesn't she? 2:08.58. It's really nice from Laura. Just in front of Emily in second place. And Kiana McInnes touched out into third. Amy Wilmot, by the way, 4th on her return in an unfamiliar event. But a super swim from Laura Stevens, who just continues to impress in the 200 fly. Such a good fly swimmer. And she'll have plenty of competition in Emily Large and Kiana McInnes over the next couple of years, I'm sure. To 8:58 puts Laura comfortably into the elite swimmers that have swam this year. In fact, including last year, that would be a top 10 time from Laura Stevens in the world. Excellent stuff from the Plymouth Leander swimmer. Still plenty to come this evening, don't you worry about that. We've got the men's 100 fly next, starting with this fella, Stephen Clegg, swimming in the men's multi-class 100 fly. It'll then be followed by the men's 100 fly for the Olympic programme. Then we've got the women's 200 breaststroke, men's 100 breast, and then women and men's para and Olympic 50 freestyles. Ending with a bit of splash and dash for your Friday evening. So here is Stephen Clegg, S12 swimmer, been there and done it really is Stephen. He's a very seasoned and very quality swimmer across a variety of disciplines really. Holds so many British records, difficult genuinely to keep count. I think it's 10 he holds across both the S12 and S13 classes. Stephen is a visually impaired athlete, hence the S12 sport classification. What can he produce in the 100 fly? He's an excellent backstroker and freestyler, and an excellent fly swimmer as well. Holds the British record, and he swam in London in 2019 at that World Championships. In Clegg comes then towards home. Final 15 metres. That British record he holds is 57.36. He's not going to be far outside of that. It's a quick swim this from Stephen Clegg. 58.24, yeah, really good. Super swim from Stephen Clegg, especially swimming on his own. .58.24 then for Clegg. He's got a quick world record to chase as well. It's held by Roman Makarov and has been since 2013, which is a long time for paraswimming world record. So to get well up in the 900s just shows how quick that was. 58.24 then for Stephen Clegg. I think he'll be pleased with that on his return to competition. And speaking of returns to competitions, in our next race we'll see the re-emergence of Duncan Scott. First time in a little while. Here come the men's 100 fly finalists. There's Jimmy Guy, followed by Jacob Peters and then Duncan Scott. First up is Lewis Fraser from Swansea. Swam at the 2018 European Juniors in this event. Ed Mildred, a super young junior swimmer. Joe Litchfield will give James Guy some pretty stiff competition. Jacob Peters, another who doesn't need much introduction. Superb junior swimmer looking to make that transition up to the senior international level. Duncan Scott, and he's been there and done that. One of the quickest swimmers around. Not naturally a fly swimmer, but great to see him nevertheless. Just work his way back into competition. There's Joe's order by the max. He's in lane 7. Again, not naturally a fly swimmer, but a very good one. Max's event, the 400 IM. And Scott McClay out on this near side. Again, primarily a freestyler. But these swimmers, particularly the ones who missed out last month, they're taking every opportunity they can to get back into competitive racing, and this will be competitive. About as stacked a field as you can get. Fraser, Mildred, Litchfield, Guy, Peters, Scott, Litchfield and McClay. Away first time. Quick start by Joe Litchfield, who looked really good here last month in the Manchester International meet. And he's beaten to the wall by James Guy, who starts to use that natural power and strength. A bronze medal in the 2017 World Championships in Budapest. Multiple international medalists, perennial international contender. What can James Guy pull out in the 100 fly? Towards the wall they come. It's quick time. Oh, isn't it? Oh, isn't it? That's very good going from James Guy. 51.71, which only about a second off his lifetime best. And he's pleased about that as well. Just caught his face there, a little nod and a pumped up look on the face of Jimmy Guy up towards his friends and coaches from Bath in the stands. He's pleased with his night's work. Jacob Peters and Joe Litchfield, I'd imagine, will be too. 52.73 and 52.86 respectively. So new PB for Joe Litchfield. Duncan Scott's return to competition with a 53.58 100 fly. Those are the official results. We've got 3 great breaststroke races coming up. First the women's 200, then the men's multi-class 100 and the men's 100. Duncan Scott making the pool cleaners away. Not used to this, grabbing his own gear. Here come the girls for the 200 breaststroke. Really good field, this. Katie Robertson out there in the outside lane. Very good breaststroker, predominantly 100, but an excellent 200 swimmer, as you can see. Cara Hanlon is then joined by Katie Matz, who was in the final of the University Games in 2019 in this event. Molly Renshaw, 5th at the World Championships in Gwangju in 2019. She's got her fellow British record holder alongside her, Lily Booker and Kayla van der Moa. And join her on the outside, Katie Shanahan in the outside lane, triple gold medalist at the 2019 European Youth Olympic Festival in the 200 back and the 2 medleys. But just shows how good a swimmer and a versatile swimmer Katie is, that she can reach a standard like this in the 200 breaststroke. So Molly Renshaw will have one eye on the British record that she tied here 1 month ago. She tied the British records of the swimmer right next to her, Jocelyn Elliott. Jocelyn's breakout swim in 2017 netted her a trip to the World Championships with a British record at the trials. 2:22.08 is a phenomenally quick time. Molly in particular has spoken recently about her starting to enjoy the 200 breaststroke. Puts in some serious hard yards with Dave Hemmings at the Loughborough training base. The two have had a great working relationship for a number of years now, and Molly has been one of a number of swimmers that has come on leaps and bounds, not just technically but mentally as well. And she is going for it here, make no mistake. .68.86 at the 100, that's just behind her split that she swam 4 weeks ago. She'll be looking to pick up the pace a fraction. She has done. Now on to the finish home. Can she go and break that British record outright? Molly Renshaw already knows she's got the win here, but she is after that British record. Can we see 2 in a night? In she comes towards the wall. 2:22.08 is that British record. She's going to be close. It's going to be really close, but she's just outside, 7/10. Didn't quite have enough on that back 50. Gave it everything. Just had a little bit too much to do on that back 100, perhaps. At 2:22.78, still a fantastic time. Fantastic swim from Molly, 2:22.78. Which is still the second quickest time, or rather the third quickest time in the world this year, behind both herself and Abby Woods, her Loughborough teammate, who's not a 200 breaststroke swimmer. She swam that event here 4 weeks ago and went and swam 2:22.77, which would have beaten Molly in this race by 100th of a second. That's how quick that was. So Molly looking really good as she builds up to a really big year. Here come the fellas for the men's multi-class 100 breaststroke. It's Louis Lawler giving us a smile and a wave. Followed by Connor Morrison, I should say, and Jack Milne. Scots are in town. So Louis Lawler, Connor Morrison and Jack Milne, all from 3 different clubs in Scotland. All swim in the same sport class, so this is a straight up race. No need for multi-class points here, even though technically that is still what it will be decided on, but they are all chasing the same world record. This is just a straight up race. Whoever wins, wins. It's Morrison who's off to the quick start. Man who historically was the man to watch in this event was Scott Quinn. Another Scot. He's a brilliant breaststroker. He's the current British record holder. 65.28. If one of these youngsters can go somewhere near Quinny's time, I'll be very, very pleased. And they come towards home, and this is a super performance by Connor Morrison. It's not going to be a mile off Quinny's time. That's a good one, 68.98 for Connor Morrison, very nicely done. But it's Morrison who beats Milne and Lawler to the punch and takes home the victory in the men's multi-class 100 metres breaststroke final. Next up is the one that I know a few of you will have been waiting for. It is the men's 100 metres breaststroke. Murdoch, Peaty, Wilby. And here comes Scott Quinn, mentioned Quinny. Usually swims multi-class, he's quick enough to swim with the big boys here. And those who followed Quinn for a while will know he loves a boogie. Proper field this. Harvey Freeman of Northampton goes in lane 1. Gregory Butler from Loughborough Uni is in 2. Ross Murdoch makes his competitive return to swimming in lane 3. There is the great man, Adam Peaty. Alongside him is his Loughborough University teammate, James Wilby. David Murphy goes in 6, followed by Archie Goodburn and Scott Quinn. Sometimes can get forgotten just how good Adam Peaty is, and bear with me on this one because that's quite a difficult statement to open with, I'm aware. I'm doing a bit of research ahead of this race. Adam Peaty has the fastest 18 times of all time. James Wilby in lane 5 is the 4th quickest man ever in this event. Ordinarily, you'd be championing that as a huge achievement, a leading light, a star. But such is the ludicrous standard that Adam Peaty has set over the last 5-6 years. It is tough to compete with, but credit to James Wilby. He has, like Ross Murdoch has done before, stepped out of the shadow at times to produce world-class swims. And that's what he'll look to do once again here. Peaty splits out 27.19. Quick start from the quickest breaststroker ever. You'll have been delighted for Luke Greenbank earlier, swimming his British record. They're both coached by Mel Marshall. He continues her fantastic track record of improving swimmers. No one does it better than Adam Peaty. How quick is the time going to be? It is 58.52 from Adam Peaty. James Wilby dips below the 60-second mark. He'll be really pleased with that. Another 0.3 better than his performance 4 weeks ago for Adam Peaty. 58.52. Such as the crazy standards that he set, you know, he just swam the 25th quickest time ever. And he barely looked like he got out of second gear. Phenomenal. Well, that is now the quickest time that's been swam in the last 12 months, including those swam at the start of 2020. Adam Peaty tends to peak in Olympic years at the games themselves. Great to see Wilby under 60 seconds. Great to see Murdoch back as well. Some excellent youngsters either side of them too. .50 freestyle time then. We have 50 freestyles for both the girls and the boys in both the Paralympic and Olympic programs. Abby Kane in lane 3, youngster from the University of Stirling. I say youngster, she's 18 now. Remember watching Abby when she first broke through at 13 and she was really quick. Zara Malouli's in lane 4, Louise Fidders in 5, and Leah O'Connell, youngster from Camden Swiss Cottage, is in lane 6. S7 swimmer. Be quite a close race between Abby, Zara and Louise. They're all different classes, but they're all roughly around the same sort of speed, all around that sort of 29 second, 30 second sort of mark. Let's see how quick the girls can go. quick start made by Louise Fidders in lane 5. Zara Maluli starting to rein her back in, the S10 swimmer. It will be Fidders who takes the win. 28.27, Zara Maluli in 29.01, but slightly more multi-class points. In comes Leah O'Connell. 38.43 for Leah. Good swim that by Zara Maluli, 29.01. Louise Fidders just edged out in terms of multi-class points. A good swim from Louise, never mind. 28.27 is perfectly quick. 50-metre freestyle, I don't think is a Paralympic event. Don't think. For the S14s. Might change in the future maybe. But good to see Louise swimming it and looking quick either way. There's another para swimmer at the back of the line there, that's Hannah Russell. She's swimming in the open final. Great sprinter is Hannah Russell, S12 category. That's Anna Green on the outside, next to Isabel Goodwin. Tamrin Van Selm rides again for the second time this evening. Harriet Jones is followed by Georgia Coates, who gets a big cheer from up on above. Catherine Greenslade in lane 6. That's Drew McKenzie. There is Hannah Russell. Swims at this pool here in Manchester, the multiple Paralympic champion. This is, I should mention, a B final. And it's some standard for a B final, let me tell you. And off they go. Quick start made by the blue hat in lane 4. That's Harriet Jones from the city of Cardiff. Just up alongside her is Georgia Coates, who will go close here. Looks like Jones should have the advantage. Those long strokes won't quite catch her from Georgia Coates. 26.27 for Harriet Jones. Very nicely done. And there's the results of the B final. It's Harriet Jones who takes it home in front of Georgia Coates and Isabel Goodwin. Hannah Russell there at the bottom shaves half a second off her time from this morning, which is not bad going at all.
And for A final, please welcome the poolside the women's 50-metre freestyle finalists.
And here comes the A final. That's Tane Bruce over on the far side, alongside Harriet Rogers, the youngster from Darlington, who, despite her age, really looks like a great prospect in the sprint events. That's Anna Hopkin. She's got Evelyn Davis and Emma Russell next to her, and on the outside, two Loughborough swimmers, Candice Hall and Imogen Clark. Can anyone stop Anna Hopkin? 25-17 this morning. She'll be hoping to dip under that 25-second mark if she can. Hopkin looking really good. Not built like a 50 freestyler in any way. The pocket rocket always seems to find a way to edge out in front. And there she goes. 25.46 for Anna Hopkin. Slightly slower than she was this morning. Not quite at her magnificent best, but a win nevertheless for Anna Hopkin. Lucy Hope and Evelyn Davis are second and thirds. Evelyn Davis, the youngster from Bromley, just 17. 25.66. It's a brand new PB for Evelyn Davis. Second time this year she's done that. Second time today she's done that, should I say. And here come the boys for the 50 freestyle multi-class race. Great to see Andrew Mullen back. He's at the top of your picture. S5 swimmer from the city of Glasgow.
In lane number 2, representing the city of Glasgow, Andrew Mullen. In 3, representing Edinburgh University, Stephen Clegg.
Stephen Clegg's back at it again in the 53. Jordan Catchpole, who was very busy 4 weeks ago, swam just about every event from memory. He's back, so too is Louis Lawler, who was in action earlier. Dylan Broom of Torvine is in lane 6, and Lyndon Longhorn, I should say, of Derwentside is in lane 7. So two S5 swimmers in this race, that's Andy Mullen and Lyndon Longhorn. And they're both in the outside lanes. And three S14 swimmers who all go head to head. Jordan Catchpole, Louis Lawler and Dylan Broom. Stephen Clegg in the midst of all that. And away in racing. Quick start as expected by the S14 to the middle. Quicker start being made in lane 4 by Jordan Catchpole. Stephen Clegg will go with him as long as he can. Can Clegg get the better of him? In they go towards the wall. Jordan Catchpole, 820 points at 25.03. Stephen Clegg 25.04, touched out by a matter of not even millimetres. Good swim for Louis Lawler too at 25.15. That was a battle of the British record holders in Jordan Catchpole and Stephen Clegg. Both of them hold the British record. And it's Jordan who just touches out Stephen Clegg, and Louis Lawler will actually get the better of Clegg on multi-class points too. So good race there from the Paraswimming lads. And the quickest of them all will be going in the open final in a moment. The return of Ben Proud. That's Rory McKinnon out on the outside alongside Scott McClay. Lane 2 for Scott McClay, who's an excellent freestyler. It shows how good this race is. Dave Cambridge goes in 3. The return of Ben Proud in lane 4. Looking to see what Ben Proud's got for us. Matt Richards is in lane 5 alongside his fellow excellent youngster Jacob Whittle. Perennial national contender Harry Constantine goes alongside them. Reece Dunn, the paraswimmer, on the outside. Reece Dunn, a very quick paraswimmer. He's a world record holder in the freestyle. 50 isn't quite his bag, but it'll be interesting to see how well he goes. And likewise, the boys in the middle. Away they go. Good start from Ben Proud. Plymouth Leander swimmer is so quick. What sort of time can he put down on his return? 22:15. Yes, Ben Proud. Great swim. It's a great swim that from Ben Proud. To where he wants to be-ish. He knows he can be quicker, and he will be quicker this year, I'm sure. But on his first return to competition, that's a good marker set down by big Ben Proud. 5th in the World Championships in 2019. And well, ladies and gents, that will just about do it. Hasn't that absolutely flown by? We've got plenty of action coming up over the course of the weekend as well. You can join us again, same time tomorrow for the finals. And if you fancy joining us for the heats, and I recommend you would, we've seen some fantastic heat swimming today and indeed in the last international meet too. Those begin at 9:30. That's the same for Saturday and Sunday. Some great swimming here this weekend. It is just so nice to be back. It can't be stressed enough. Some brilliant swims. A British record too to Luke Greenbank. What more could you ask for from a Friday night? Enjoy the rest of your Fridays, ladies and gents. We will see you back bright and breezy tomorrow morning. And until then, good night.
Right now, it's more vital than ever that we keep in touch. So at Labara, we're offering a great value SIM-only deal. 1,000 texts and 1,000 minutes to the UK. 100 extra minutes to 40 other countries, plus 2 gigs of data. All for just £5. No contract. You can change at any time. Not that you'd want to. Labara. Stay connected.
Attention please. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Not all supplements are created equal. At HealthSpan, our omega-3 oil is sustainably sourced from the South Pacific Ocean. We find our turmeric in the southern slopes of India. And our cod liver oil comes from the cold, crisp seas off Greenland. We work hard to seek out the best ingredients for our supplements, because that's the HealthSpan way. We're healthspan.co.uk. Vitamins and supplements in-store or direct to your door.